What is the DAO? In the era of digital currencies, many people continue to enjoy major features like a decentralized sector. This means no institution like the government or bank controls the operations here. Instead, the functions are divided among different networks, computers, and nodes. Most times the reason to stay devoted to the virtual status is to help in attaining high privacy and security levels available during transactions. A group of developers became inspired by the performance of cryptocurrencies and introduced the Decentralized Autonomous Organization in 2016. Here is all you need to know about the DAO. Why was the organization made? The main motivation behind the development of the DAO was to reduce human error or manipulate investors' funds. This was believed to be achieved through engaging automated systems in the decision-making power and process. With the influence of Ether, designing the DAO looked to give investors the chance to send money globally in secret. As a result, the developers would then get tokens that can be used for voting on potential projects. Thanks to its launch, this opened a chance to a huge crowdfunding campaign, above $150 million. Risks and problems of the DAO. One main problem with invention comes from the participation of shareholders. As it is documented that there is no voting involvement. Yes, the legality of this business type is not yet decided by policymakers. Currently, the organization is termed as a general partnership, making all the members liable for legal measures and debts faced by the company. That means the startups interested in operating as DAO need a legal structure. With that, you can conduct your businesses within both closed blockchain worlds while also interacting with the physical world. It is necessary to understand the old financial instruments and the intellectual property world. This goal is only achieved by overcoming the major barriers, including types of regulations that apply in specific rules during cryptographic token sales, effective authorized contractual framework to allow embedding of DAOs into the current institutional context. The problems remain to be tough because a lawyer's insight is needed in every field. That way an organization will not only be developed but also be suitably staffed. No other issues will be experienced to help with the compliance issues in financial, trade, and tax law. Changing the DAO or smart contracts code is also hard once it is set up in the blockchain. This is however good since a single business cannot amend the rules. But it is disadvantageous because debugging is hard to do. DAO and security. Like any other internet-based business, attackers usually bring potential security vulnerabilities. Well, the unstoppable code poses a hardship to the participants. Today, once a DAO is deployed, it becomes hard to change from the Ethereum blockchain. That is a disadvantage because attackers can slowly remove funds. And the developers cannot do something to end it. But it is good since the main coders can reverse every transaction and return the funds to investors. This prompted a rift among the funds owners, with some people calling for permanent disbanding. What the future has for the DAO? It is evident that the DAO is vulnerable to both programming mistakes and attackers. On the other side, the business is projecting new territory regulations and trade laws. The two are likely not to make the expansion process of the operations any easier. As a result, the organization's structure is potentially challenging. This is because the investors have concerns about being liable for the organization's actions. The company, in the end, plans to operate in a bigger territory whether it is selling securities or not. This further brought long-lasting issues on how the business would work in the actual world. Both investors and contractors will change ETH currencies to fiat to feel safe. And this is likely to impact the worth of Ether. Generally, people compare smart contracts to vending machines. But the thought of having what takes your money and brings goods in return through automatic ordering is hard. Thankfully, this machine needs no managers because all its processes are pre-written as code. Of course, the concept is a result of the introduction of the DAO. Now many of the companies are starting to operate now, and more will probably come up in the future. How does the DAO work? The attempt to create this best-known organization, the DAO, has proved successful. Since its launch, the project is a perfect example of whatever developers picture regarding technology. The initial plan was to allow the participants to get tokens to be used for voting for the projects that should be funded. Selecting what to invest in called for the crowd's wisdom. Regarding the issues of concern, some of the ways the organization planned to improve its governance include allowing anybody who can access the internet to either hold or buy DAO tokens. DAO developers have the chance to set any rules on what is voted. All DAOs work the same way. The organizations depend on smart contracts or preset rules which determine what takes place in the system. The smart contracts get programmed to handle various tasks, including doling out money after specific dates or after some numbers of voters choose a project to fund. It is evident that the business can suit companies that need any decision making even if it not related to finances. For instance, it essentially sees how to cryptographically provide democracy, allowing stakeholders to vote or change new rules, or even oust a member. DAOs become completely virtualized using software that materializes its operations. The aim is to interrupt any kind of traditional governing structures, and also challenge how companies currently reason concerning governance. What are the existing DAOs? As DAO becomes a popular digital currency, it has additional forms entering the field. Investing here thus is extremely risky and speculative but brings a unique situation. If you wish to invest here, therefore, consult qualified professionals before making the financial decision. It is equally vital to trade only with licensed and regulated brokers. Some of the types include Aragon, Colony, and Theta DAO framework. Following the massive concerns, the future of DAO as a noticeable digital currency was worrying because the tokens exchanges got delisted as initially imagined. Even so, the interest of companies in joining decentralized autonomous businesses keeps growing. Despite the many remaining concerns and potential risks concerning security, legality, and structure, the majority of investors believe that such organizations will ultimately come to fame. Perhaps the sector will even replace the traditionally structured companies. Learn more about cryptocurrencies and how they fit in the world with CryptoNaNi's easy-to-digest and essential crypto guides.